Hello YouTube, hello Twitch, welcome back to another ship guide. We're back with the guides, and it's gonna be today our first super ship guide, the USS Maine. Somebody requested earlier a game for it. Unfortunately I was busy doing the regrinds with the Irresistible, so why not only play it now that I have time, but also thank you Kong, showcase it in a how to play game. So as you immediately notice, it's a very different build than I usually run. In fact, one thing is optional. You could drop these two for an additional heal, but that's up to you. So Maine is pretty much the Super Montana in this game. You have 16 guns instead of 12. You are far bigger, and you got a really insane F key. The F key is called Intimidate Threat Elimination, and basically you charge it with shell hits. What this does is it makes your AA stronger, and it reduces fire and flood damage by 65%. The ticks are 65% weaker, which effectively means if you have a fire and you activated it, it does less than half the damage it usually does. And if you have two fires, you're basically doing just over one a bit of fire damage. And this is exactly why you want to run Furious on this ship. I'm running Furious on this ship because for those of you who don't know what Furious does, it basically gives you 10% reload buff for one active fire or one active flood, and an additional 5% for anything else, additional flood or fire running. That means, for example, if we have the F key ready, and we activate it and let Furious run through, that we have pretty much a 10 to 50% permanent reload buff while taking barely any damage. Now, that's pretty much the fun thing about it, and this is why it's so strong having it. Of course, you still not damage from a single fire, and in fact of the F key you should actually let them burn, because fire and flood damage is fully healable. Now, how to play the main? You still play it on the second line, pretty much. You're not gonna go instantly in unless you have full control and spot over the enemy DDs. But what this ship offers is it's pretty decent accuracy with insane shell volume. If you notice, like, we're landing quite a decent amount of shells thanks to US dispersion mod. This I'm actually gonna DCP because I have no interest in eating submarine torpedoes right now. Give me a second here. Good. As you can see, we also have really good vertical dispersion, which makes the ship really good at punishing broadsides. If people angle, you can load easily to H3 and give 15k them getting double fires and so on. It's not a rare occasion. And if people show full broadside, well, you see what happens to that Alsace. That was a classic example. Now the Moskva is also turning. We have a submarine in front of us. Is the Moskva going for a full turn? He is. Very good. We're gonna slow down here. Most submarine torpedoes should miss us. And we, I don't know. Boom. Moskva's gone. Good. Now, as you notice, the flood is not doing a lot of damage to me. And we get pretty much now a 10% reload buff, which is very nice. Our submarine, unfortunately, doesn't know how submarine surveillance works. It should be off cooldown by now. There we go.
Attention, reporting the target position.
Gonna heal here as well. Should get a hit here, right? Yeah, good. I'm actually gonna DCP here because the engine was gone. It's the full reason actually why I only DCP. Our submarine still has full air. I wish he would go for him. But basically what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna keep arrest the enemy sub. With the airstrikes, he soon should have submarine surveillance ready. Sub bracket in 50. Okay, he just told me.
Thank you.
Good.
Enemy battleship detected. Torpedoes astern. Enemy cruiser detected. Airborne. Torpedoes astern.
Let's go. We can finish him off now.
Torpedoes to port. Torpedoes astern.
Sorry that I talk too much. There's so much happening right now, guys. So I had to pay really attention here. But the enemy submarine is dead. We got him now. Most likely, at least. Oh my god. Maybe we don't have him, actually. Need to go for the blind fire here. It would be cool if we had HE loaded now, because then we could probably guarantee a hit. Oh, I got another hit. Boom. We got him. Nice.
Enemy submarine destroyed.
But yeah, basically back to how to play the ship. You play to medium range. Here we led the charge because we kind of had to support our submarine. Nobody else is interested in it. We have very, very accurate guns with pretty decent vertical dispersion. The one thing you need to pay attention though is, just like Monty, you have a very exposed citadel that's directly sitting at the waterline. So you will be able to get punished here. But again, really good dispersion.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
And thanks to the Furious, a really, really nice reload always.
All stations.
Now I'm gonna
Concentrate
shoot HG
fire
on him
the
because
target.
he's gone the angle away. He's a pretty decent player. In fact, Cinemod is probably one of the best players in this game, as far as I'm aware of. Just like Gang, this is a very, very good player, in case you're wondering. God, now the CV's also griefing me. They're all griefing me here!
Ship is on fire.
We DCP this fire because we're fairly low. And we're gonna use this opportunity now to turn where the Izumo shot. Izumo should also be dead. Nah, close. It would be kind of cool if our team actually helped us here a bit more. Because I feel like me and the submarine here
Problem
played
solved, sir.
most of the time of the game alone.
Torpedoes to port. Concentrate fire on the enemy warship. Ship is on fire. Torpedoes to port.
Such hefty pressure here, it's crazy.
Confirmed penetration.
Okay, we got a good strike on the CV, but we're dead, yeah. No chance. That's way too much here, unfortunately. We completely demolished this flank, but we just don't have help. I feel like, I don't know where all the people died. It must be on the other side. That's crazy. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish off the Essex completely here. But basically what you want with this ship is you want to be medium range. You don't want to overextend at the beginning too much. I kind of had to because we had the chance to kill the submarine. And there was not too much opposition anymore there after we clapped the Moskva. And what was it? The Alsace disengaged. And you want to utilize the really good gun accuracy. If people show broadside, you want to shoot AP. If they're angled, don't care about it. Just switch to HE. Against angled BBs, because you will do 15k salvos with like 1 or 2 fires. Mostly it's crazy, and obviously for DDs just shoot what you have loaded in that moment. But you gotta remember you have 4 6s, so you don't have the 30mm overmatch. And again, if you have one fire, let it burn. You should always let a fire burn, to be fair, but if you have 2 fires or something and you have your F key ready, use it, let it burn through. It's not gonna take you too much damage and you get a nice reload buff. Of course, if you're off cooldown of the F key, then try to, of course, DCP 2 or 3 fires or a flood, whatever, to minimize your damage on you. But if you have the F key ready, which is very, very powerful, don't DCP the fires. Now my team has control over pretty much every cap besides A. I think we should be able to cap C here. The CV is trying to run away with the key as such, but I don't think he can anymore. And our team should have this. Man, this was a crazy fast game. Sorry, there was so much shit happening around me. We had to pay attention to so many things. We had to punish so many mistakes. We had to watch out that we don't overextend. Like, this was crazy. And then, unfortunately, the only reason why we died is because we got griefed by the SX. Which I would have loved to tank earlier, but I really tried to get the DD first. Which probably costed me the kill on the SX, to be fair, because we only got one volley off on him. But I see that Johnson is gonna land a torpedo now on the SX. Nice. Oh, the Ruprecht. That is dead. Oh, that's funny. And with that, we get the match. So that's pretty much how you want to use Maine. Try to, of course, if you can, to survive longer. But for that to be possible, obviously you need to have teammates with you that either don't int or are actively participating in the battle. In case of the submarine, only me and the submarine were fighting for it. But that's a different story. Let's just finish until these two are open, and then you have also a very, very nice main game. We did clap up the damage very quickly though, which is super duper nice. I can't complain. Sometimes you don't have the longest games, sometimes you have a rather short one, but your impact, thanks Kong, is so big that the game is pretty much won. And with this, like this insta kill on Moscow are really important, the smash on the Alsace, the kill on the submarine. Secured pretty much B flank. They were never really able to get the cap. The only one who had remotely the chance was the Öster, and that's would have just gotten smashed by the raiders of Des Moines and Riga and the Essex. But holy, that was a fast but crazy round. We still utilized our ship very well though, I can't complain. Good, now finish off the Kearsarge and the Zuma boys, and we are good to go. And again, remember, not show broadside in the ship, you will be able to get punished, even rather easily by most BBs, because it has the waterline sit of Monty. I think a bit more protection, but pretty much the same on the waterline. You are very, very squishy. You're covered in 38, so watch out what kind of HC spam you're fighting. And without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little first super ship game. For the Satsuma, we need to play it way more safe, so there we're gonna live far longer. But with the Maine, we could play it a bit more ballsy here, which is nice. And helped our team bringing up the victory. Let's see where we end up. I think we should be probably first even. I would be very much surprised. Yeah, we have an E. Look, we got nearly 3k base XP in less than 10 minutes, which is kind of crazy. Submarine, of course, submarine base XP, but nearly 3k base in 10 minutes. That's pretty good. We got an E. Devastating strike, 3 kills. When you look at the deeper report, you will see we completely one-tapped at Moskva. We did full damage pretty much to the submarine. We did a bit to Iwami. We nearly one-tapped the SS as well. We did crazy amount of damage to the Essex. We did some damage to Cinemod and some to the Izumo. We took, here by the way you can see actually how much damage we soaked up. Nearly 180k. And if it wouldn't have been for the torpedoes and so on and the constant strikes there in the end, we could have probably healed up a bit more and even go over 200k. So you can see how crazy the fire reduction and flood reduction is actually of the FK. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And that was the first super ship guide for you, the Maine.